My name is Faylita Hicks, and you can call me Faye. And this is my very first ASMR video ever. I've seen a lot of people doing it, and I've been very interested in the idea and concept of it, but I've never tried it. And I think this could be pretty awesome, so I'm gonna try it. I happen to like two things, and I am going to share those things with you. I love wine and I love poetry. So I'm going to share some wine and some poetry with you. And I hope that you like it because it's stuff that I like. So today's bottle of wine is actually Barefoot Moscato. That's what happens when you are on a budget. You get the most affordable wine you can find. I will say they got the double gold and best of class 2016 Indie International Wine Competition Award. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that standing means, but I'm assuming that it means something good. So I bought this wine even though I don't normally drink white wine. I normally drink red wine, but this is the only wine I have in the house, so that's what we're going to do. I like this paper. This is actually, it's just white paper, but I like the way that it feels. It's very soft to touch. It feels pretty good under my nails. And it's been chilling, so it's kind of cool in my hands right now. And I'm gonna pour a little bit more into my glass. I've already started drinking some wine. I hope that's okay with you because I have. And yeah, but now I need more, so. I like my glass too. Whenever you hear that big dollop, you know someone's going to town on the wine. I used to host a poetry and wine event here in San Marcos, but I don't get to do that anymore, which is fine. That's part of life. But trying new wines out is literally one of my favorite things to do. And I wish I had the time and ability to learn more about wine, because I'd like to become a connoisseur. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing this right. If you have tips, you can share those with me in the comments. It's my very first time, so you know, I'm just doing what I've seen. I'm sure there's a proper way to drink wine, but the way that I drink the wine is in big gulps, because that's how I roll. When you go to fancy parties and people have wine glasses and they hold it like this, and you're like, hello, I'm fancy. When you're at home, you hold it like this. Am I the only one? No, just me? Okay, cool. You know, I don't know. I think it's the fact that you feel like you're treating yourself when you have a glass of wine. It's an adult candy. you know, you're like, you know what I haven't done in a while? Have a glass of wine. Beer cans, not the same. Wine, you know what? I'm treating myself today. I'm gonna have some wine. So, I'm gonna have some more. That's the other weird thing. I don't know if you saw that, but I don't know how to drink without putting my tongue out first. This is a very real thing I've been trying to work on. I see other people drinking and it's not the same. It's almost like I'm kind of like, no, I have to catch that. Can't let it fall. It's a bad habit I've had since I was a little girl, so whatevs. Whatevs. I keep seeing people do this. I don't know what that's about. Again, if you want to explain that to me, you can just leave a comment and I will look it up. I will figure this out. I think it's to help people sleep, but I'd be very annoyed if he kept doing that. I wouldn't like that. I just kind of, let things happen as they happen. What else? Oh, how about some poetry? How about that? So I have 2 books that I want to share with you guys. I don't know how much I'm gonna read. I think I got my candles going in the bag and I've got my wine. And normally when I'm having poetry and wine, it's something, sweet or romantic that we're doing. But the books that I have, I read very serious poetry. And all my books are like, really hard. So I'm going to try to find some good poems to share with you guys today. And hopefully you like them. Why don't we look at the very first one? So the very first book is actually Dante's Inferno. As you can see, the title on this one actually says The Inferno of Dante. This cover is extremely soft and super smooth, which means, so besides it being a high quality cover, I love the way that some books feel. And this kind of book, when it's cold, the cover is cold. When it's warm, the cover is warm. It feels almost like skin. And that's why, I don't know if you can hear that, just how smooth the cover is. I have a big belief that books are full of energy that the writer has put into it, and I do judge books by their covers. I don't like thin papery covers. I like thick covers that have depth to them. I really like texture, and this one has a nice smooth. Can you hear that? Nice smooth cover. I'm sorry if I like that sound. So the Inferno of Dante, and it says, a new verse translation by Robert Pinsky, the bilingual edition. Now, I know a little bit of Spanish, but I do not know a lot of Spanish. And for that reason, I am not going to read the Spanish portion because I would literally ruin it. And I said Spanish, but I think this is, might be wrong. What kind? Oh, you would think I would know what the original language is. All my poets out there, don't judge me. It might be Italian. I don't know. Oh God, I should know. Ooh, points taken away from Faye. Well, the other great thing about I'm gonna let you. This is for all my book lovers, all the people who actually really love books. You know, you have certain, you like smells and feel and taste. I didn't say taste, I did say taste, and then I put my mouth next to it. I'm not actually going to taste the book. I am going to smell it though. Didn't smell like anything. But I've had the book for a while, so maybe it just smells like my house and I don't know. Now, a good, strong piece of paper is also another thing. There's something about paper that if you're a writer or just a passionate reader, you know, you like to feel the heft of the page. You like everything to be nice and clean, and it you know, it makes you have more respect for it. I am running my nails now across the pages. I'm not pushing down hard because I love my book. But oh, that's fun. All right, now I'm just going to pick up on page 7 of this book. Or am I? You know what? Maybe I'll end on page 7. Why don't we just start at the beginning of Canto 1? I'm gonna get some more wine first. How about that? Big gulps. I definitely stuck my tongue out just for you because I don't normally, like, I stick my tongue out, but I don't stick it out that often when I'm drinking wine. Like, what kind of animal am I? All right, now, how do you guys like my wig? This is my ASMR after midnight wig. I don't know what time it is. It's probably after midnight. I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Canto 1. Midway on our life's journey, I found myself in dark woods, the right road lost. To tell about those woods is hard, so tangled and rough and savage that thinking of it now, I feel the old fear stirring. Death is hardly more bitter, and yet to treat the good I found there as well. I'll tell you what I saw. Though how I came to enter I cannot well say, being so full of sleep. Whatever moment it was, I began to blunder off the true path. But when I came to stop below a hill that marked one end of the valley that had pierced my heart with terror, I looked up toward the crest and saw its shoulders already mantled in rays of that bright planet that shows the road to everyone, whatever our journey. Then I could feel the terror begin to ease, that I churned in my heart's lake all through the night, as one still panting, ashore from dangerous seas, looks back at the deep he has escaped. My thought returned, still fleeing, to regard that grim defile that never left any alive who stayed in it. After I had rested my weary body a while, I started again across the wilderness, my left foot always lower on the hill, and suddenly a leopard, near the place the way grew steep, lithe, spotted, quick of foot, blocking the path. She stayed before my face, and more than once she made me turn about to go back down. It was early morning still, the fair sun rising with the stars attending it. As when divine love set those beautiful lights into motion at creation's dawn, and the time of day and season combined to fill my heart with hope of that beast with festive skin, but not so much that the next sight wasn't fearful. A lion came at me, his head high as he ran, roaring with hunger so the air appeared to tremble. Then a grim she-wolf, whose leanness seemed to compress all the world's cravings that had made miserable such multitudes. She put such heaviness into my spirit, I lost hope of the crest. Like someone eager to win, who tested by loss surrenders to gloom and weeps, so did that beast make me feel, as hurrying toward me at a lope, she forced me back toward where the sun is lost. While I was ruining my life back down to the deep, someone appeared, one who seemed nearly to fade, as though from long silence. I cried to his human shape in that great wasteland, "Living man, our shade, have pity and help me, whichever you may be." "No living man, though once I was," he replied. "My parents both were Mantons from Lombardy, and I was born sub Julio, the latter end. I lived in good Augustus. I cannot say that, I apologize. I lived in good Augustus's Rome in the day of the false gods who lied. A poet, I hemmed Enkis. Oh my God, all these words. Okay. Of the false god who lied. As poet, I hemmed Anchises' noble son, who came from Troy when superb Ilium in its pride was burned. But you, why go back down to such misery? Why not ascend the delightful mountain, source and principle that causes every joy? Then are you Virgil? Are you the fount that pours so overwhelmingly a river of human speech? I answered, shamed face. The light and glory are yours. That poets follow. May the love that made me search your book and patient study avail me, master. You are my guide and author, whose verses teach the graceful style whose model has done me honor. See this beast driving me backward. Help me resist, for she makes all my veins and pulses shudder. A different path from this one would be best for you to find your way from this feral place, he answered, seeing how I wept. This beast, the cause of your complaint, lets no one pass her way, but harries all to death. Her nature is so malign and vicious, she cannot appease her voracity, for feeding makes her hungrier. Many are the beasts she mates. There will be more, until the hound comes who will give this creature a painful death. Not nourished by earthly fare, he will be fed by wisdom, goodness, and love. Born between Feltro and Feltro, he shall restore low Italy as Nissus fought to achieve. And Turnus, Euryalus, Camilla the maiden, all dead from wounds and war, he will remove this lean wolf, hunting her through every region, till he has thrust her back to hell's abyss, where envy first dispatched her on her mission. Therefore I judge it best that you should choose to follow me, and I will be your guide, away from here, and through an eternal place. I'm going to stop there. And that's again from the Inferno of Dante. Now, this is a new translation. It came out, and I have got to find that page. I'm looking for that page. I have to find that page. Alright, where would that page be? I'm having fun, guys. I don't know if you're having fun. I'm having fun. It's probably going to be a long video. Copyright 1994. So, in the scope of things, like, it's not new, like it came out last year. But as far as how many translations, this is a newer translation. Again, book nerds, you guys know what I mean by that. This is definitely in the canon, and it tells me right here on this page it's English and Italian. So it is Italian as the original language, and I do not know Italian, so I couldn't read that the original language to you, even if I wanted to. You can kind of see it's in both languages all on one page. Can you see that? Not like I can see your response to this video. So thank you, Robert Pinsky and Dante, for this very beautiful book. Time for more wine. I love this as an experiment. I go out when I can, but I don't often get to be sensual in the ways that I would like to be regularly. And I feel like ASMR is a good place for a person to connect and to try sensuality, which is everything to do with sound, taste, touch, being very purposeful about your movements. I think that's very interesting, and so I'm enjoying this. I think this is a fun practice. Even if nobody watches this, I think I might have to do this for myself because this is fun. The next book that I have picked up is Vice. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Just this is Vice's cover. And this is me tapping on it, and this is Dante's cover. The difference is the depth of sound between the two. Dante's cover is definitely a lot softer. This cover that I'm now holding is not as soft, and therefore not my favorite kind of cover. It's very plastic, which is fine. It's just not my preference on covers. It's my fingers running across it. So it's also very reflective. You can see it in the light right there. It's extremely reflective. Again, not my favorite kind of cover. And that's, it's a little sad just because this was the winner of the 1999 National Book Award for Poetry, which is like one of the biggest awards you can get for it, for a book of poetry. And I is dope as fuck. Am I allowed to say? I could say fuck on YouTube, right? Pretty sure I can. If I can't, we'll just get that cut out of there. That's how you could tell I'm a newbie. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You can even hear the difference in sound on the pages. And I'm not doing anything different. So this is still I's book. And then this is back to Dante's book, so you can hear the difference. And then back to I's book. It's very interesting. It sounds almost like a zipper. And so it's a lot of people don't, I say a lot of people, but people who aren't people who don't normally collect books don't know how different each book can feel and how that can contribute even to the reading. It does for me, at least. When I pick up a book, I will judge the book based off of the quality of the cover, and then of course how it fills my hands and the page, and all of that contributes to how seriously I'm gonna take the book. And that is probably just like I think that's just like a creative thing for me. Maybe most people don't feel that way. Most people aren't paying attention to that, and they don't care. They care about what the words say. But I think that a book is about the whole thing. It's not just the words. If it was just the words, we would just put it online, which is cool because online still has quality things, and I'll talk about that at a different time. But by the time it gets to the book, I want the book to put me in the mood to want to read what's happening inside of it, which is why the cover matters. I actually prefer this cover to the cover of the other book, which is still a great cover. But this one is more my aesthetic, and it's just unfortunate that the cover is so shiny. I don't like that. I wish it was matte. If it was matte, oh my god, it'd be so dope if the cover was matte. So this book is actually a bunch of books put together. This is just rubbing my hand over the cover here on the inside. It's several books from I, including Greed, 1993, Fate, 1991, Sin, 1986, Killing Floor, 1979, Cruelty, 1973, and it's all these books put together into one called Vice, which I think is pretty awesome. And I am looking for one in particular. There's a poem that I read in here that was one of the first poems of I ever read, and I was just so blown away by it that I was like, oh my god, I have to read this woman. I have to know what's happening here. I found it. Yay. This is called The 20-Year Marriage, and it's from her book published in 1973, Cruelty. But the poem again is called 20-Year Marriage. You keep me waiting in a truck with its one good wheel stuck in the ditch while you piss against the south side of a tree. Hurry, I've got nothing on under my skirt tonight. That still excites you, but this pickup has no windows, and the seat, one fake leather thigh pressed close to mine, is cold. I'm the same size, shape, make as 20 years ago, but get inside me, start the engine. You'll have the strength, the will to move. I'll pull, you push, we'll tear each other in half. Come on, baby. Lay me down on my back. Pretend you don't owe me a thing. And maybe we'll roll out of here, leaving the past stacked up behind us. Old newspapers nobody's ever got to read again. So that's one of my favorite poems from I, because I am raunchy like that. I was before this video, I was trying to find really anything that I could read to you guys, and I had such a hard time. I was like, I want to find something sexy, and I couldn't find it, which is how we ended up with Dante, and then how we ended up with I might come back to I on the next video, because I is pretty dope. But I think that's gonna be it. I think I'm gonna finish out the night here. Finish off my glass of wine, because I actually have writing to do. I am a poet and I write. I'm working on my first book, and it's due to my publisher on the 15th of April, which means I got a lot of work to do. So I'll be making these videos as I finish that up. I might share a poem or two with you. We shall see. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Again, this was my very first night of ASMR, and I loved it. I really did. So I'm going to ask that if you enjoyed this, hold on. That's what happens when you try to take a big gulp. Trying too hard to be sexy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, click on like, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be updating the videos every week. I might do it more than once a week because I enjoyed this so much. I don't know. I might have to do this more often. And I hope that you have a great night, okay? Bye, guys. Oh, am I supposed to do this? Is this how we say goodbye in YouTube land? I don't know. Good night, guys.